Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah, and today I will be guiding you through a short yoga practice to down-regulate your nervous system. So this class is designed to help decrease anxiety and stress. It will help to slow down your breath, slow down your thoughts. And as we move through our practice, you will become more connected with your breath, with your body, with your entire self. You won't be needing any props for this class, so just roll out your mats. And we will begin in a comfortable seated position. Allow your shoulders to stack over top of your hips. Lift your heart and the top of your head up towards the sky. Can you begin to feel a little bit more grounded through your hips, your legs, your lower body as you sit here on your mat? Become aware of your breath. Watch and observe your breath as it moves in and out. Pay attention to the length of each inhale and the length of each exhale. Notice what your breath sounds like. Notice the depth of your breath. Does your breath feel shallow or deep? Does it feel like you're breathing mostly into your chest? Or are you breathing all the way down into your belly? Are you able to feel your belly expand, get bigger as you breathe in? Where in your body do you feel your breath the most? Bring your awareness to that part of your body and keep your focus there for your next few breaths. And once again, ground down through your hips, your sitting bones, your right leg and your left leg. Feeling a little bit more centered, steady, and perhaps more at ease here. And then gently lift up through your chest, lengthening the spine. Lift the top of your head up towards the sky. Take just a couple more breaths here. Feeling and noticing your breath as it flows through your body. Good. From here, wiggle into your fingers and toes. Look towards the right side and then towards the left side. Come through center, looking straight out ahead. Tapping into one of our senses here, our sense of sight, to help bring us into the present moment. So I invite you to look around and notice and name 5 things that you can see. From here, we're going to come into a seated position, facing forward with our legs bent in front of us and our hands behind our hips. Spread your fingers far apart on your mat, creating a good base of support for our wrists. Legs are bent. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat. And we're just going to take the knees from side to side. Finding a little bit of movement here through the hips. As you bring your knees over to the right side, you can let your left hip lift up. As you bring your knees to the left, you can allow your right hip, right sitting bone to lift up as well. One more on each side. Come to center and make your way into a tabletop position on hands and knees. Fingers are spread far apart. Shoulders are over the wrists. Hips are over the knees. Toes are untucked here. So ground down into your hands. All of your fingers. And also ground down into your knees and the shoelace parts of your feet, so the tops of your feet. Perhaps here you can also spread your toes a little bit farther apart, feeling the connection between each of your toes and the mat. One more breath here. Can you push the ground away from you with your hands and your knees and the tops of your feet? Bring your big toes together now. Knees will be about hip distance apart still. And then lower your hips to rest onto your heels for child's pose. We won't be here for too long. We're going to find a flow. So just take a couple of breaths here, allowing your forehead to lower towards the mat. Or you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands if that feels better for you. As you take your next breath in, we're going to come up into a kneeling position. So hips over the knees, shoulders over the hips. Reach your arms up. As you breathe out, bring your hands down to your mat. Find tabletop. As you breathe in, lift your heart up, looking up. As you breathe out, round into your child's pose. As you breathe in, come all the way up into your kneeling position, arms overhead. Exhale, tabletop, hands come down. As you inhale, lift your heart, lift your head. As you breathe out, child's pose, big toes together, rest back, hips to the heels. Once more like that. As you breathe in, come all the way up into your kneeling position. Arms overhead. As you exhale, hands come down, tabletop. As you breathe in, lift your heart, lift your head, cow pose. As you breathe out, round into child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here in your child's pose. Come into your tabletop position. And then step your feet forward to the top of your mat. We're coming into a forward fold. So the feet can be about hip distance apart. Bend your legs as much as you would like here. Get settled into your forward fold. So come into a position that feels comfortable for you. You can find movement here, swaying or rocking from side to side. Find center, returning to stillness. Ground down into your feet. Allow your upper body to become heavy. Legs are nice and strong, connected into the mats. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to come all the way up into our standing position. Take lots of time to rise up, shoulders over hips, lifting the head up. Standing mountain pose. So feet are hip distance apart. Pick up all 10 of your toes, and then can you spread them farther apart on your mats? Feel this nice, steady, solid connection between your feet and all 10 of your toes with your mats. Imagine that there are roots growing from your feet, allowing you to feel even more connected to your mats. And these roots are also grounding you down towards the earth. Perhaps with each breath that you take, you begin to feel a little bit more steady, stable, strong, and at ease. Take one more breath right here. Continuing to feel strong through the legs and the feet. Think about pushing the ground away from you with your feet. And then we're going to start to sway from side to side. As you sway from side to side like this, maintain this nice solid connection with your feet and your mats. So as you sway towards the right side, you can put more weight into your right foot, but still maintaining that strength and stability through both legs. And as you sway towards the left side, you can put more weight into your left leg and left foot, but continue to maintain strength and stability through both of your legs. Excellent. Find center. We're going to find some movement now forward and back. So shifting the weight forward, bringing more weight into your tippy toes and into the balls of your feet, and then shift back, bringing more weight towards the heels of your feet. As we do this, again, maintain this connection between your feet and your mat. Allowing all 10 of your toes to be grounded down onto your mat this entire time. And also beginning to feel connected to all 4 corners of each of your feet. And here it might feel nice to lift up gently through your heart and the crown of your head, lengthening through your spine. Good. Start to slow this movement down. Finding center. Allow your feet and your legs to help you feel grounded and centered in your mountain pose. Watch your breath as it moves. From here, we're going to bring our hands onto our hips. We're going to send our hips back, reach your heart forward as we come into our standing forward fold. You can bring your arms down. You can bring opposite hand to opposite elbow if you like, or you can just allow your arms to dangle towards the ground. Maybe hands can touch the ground. And here you might want to experiment with rocking from side to side, or maybe even a little bit forward and backward. So playing around with the same movement we did when we were in our mountain position. Noticing how it feels to find some movement in your forward fold. Can you spread your toes a little bit further apart on your mats? Feeling super connected to your feet and the ground beneath your feet. Take one more breath. Bring your hands now down to your mat. Come into a tabletop position. So just stepping your knees down to your mats. Bring your hands farther out in front of you. Shift your weight forward. Shoulders over the wrists. Lower all the way down to the ground. Bring one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. I'm just going to keep my head lifted here so I don't muffle the mic. You can bring your legs farther apart if that feels better for your hips and your low back. And here, as you rest your forehead on your stacked hands, I invite you to tap into your belly resting on your mat. I invite you to tap in and notice how it feels as your belly gently pushes out against your mat as you breathe in. Notice if resting here on your belly and with your face nice and close to the ground, if this helps you to feel more connected to your breath. Can you begin to allow each part of your body to soften and relax a little bit more towards your mat and then towards the earth beneath your mat? And again, work towards watching and observing your inhale and your exhale. One more breath. Notice how it feels as you breathe in, and notice how it feels as you breathe out. Hands will come underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up into a tabletop position. And then we're just going to make our way into a cross-legged seated position. Shoulders over top of the hips. Bring your hands onto your knees. And once again, we're going to find a rocking movement or a swaying movement from side to side. You can allow your shoulders to get involved in this movement a bit if that feels good. You can make this movement as small or as big as you would like. Continue to allow your breath to flow in and out as easily and as effortlessly as possible as we move like this. In this kind of movement, whether we're doing it in a seated position like this, or standing, or even lying on our back with the knees in the chest, is really good for our nervous system. It's a great way to down-regulate the nervous system and to help decrease anxiety and stress. Let's start to slow this movement down. Eventually find stillness. Again, feel this connection between your hips and your sitting bones and your yoga mat. We're going to count the breath down now from the number 10 and work our way down to the number 1. Counting our breath down in this way is a wonderful way to connect in with or engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which is also known as the rest and digest response. And any time that we are able to engage or tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, we are more easily able to reduce stress and anxiety. So starting whenever you are ready, beginning at the number 10, inhale 10, exhale 10, inhale 9, and so on, just like that. Working your way down to the number 1. We are all going to release that breath, returning to your natural breath, letting go of the counting. And as you breathe here, notice how you are feeling. Notice what has changed and what has stayed the same from the start of class. And please know that you can come back to this yoga practice whenever you would like to. It will always be here for you. This practice is great to do at any time of the day, first thing in the morning, before bed, or any time in between. My hope is that you will come back to this class, as well as any of my other yoga classes for anxiety, as often as you need to. These classes are here for you. I really do hope that this class helped you out. I hope you're feeling a little bit more calm and centered. If you enjoyed this class, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. This way you won't miss out on any of my other yoga classes for anxiety that I will be sharing here on my channel. Feel free to also leave a comment letting me know how this class went for you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.